Let's try this again. The last time we wanted to talk about this, I don't know how, but my story derailed the entire podcast. So I take full responsibility of it. But today we want to try talking because, second time's a charm. Not the third time, the second time. We tend to outgrow stuff, even podcast topics. And today we're going to go back into it to try to talk about how in life we move on from things in different seasons and whether sometimes we realize that another person's trash could be our treasure. Welcome back to the Tabletop Podcast. Wow. What can be speaking of the situation of life right now? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the nation's #1 podcast.
Oh, wow.
What nation are we talking about?
Just the one in the bubble that we live in.
Oh, Lord. It's another week. It's another part of back of your boys.
Mingan has a speech deficiency.
Oh,
you guys
shit.
would like to contribute to the GoFundMe.
The deficiencies,
We're trying to get it back.
the deficiencies stem from the numbers, guys. The realization that our low numbers is not representative of the real situation of COVID in our country.
What? Really?
COVID.
Low numbers.
Oh, let's quickly dive into this for a quick bit. What are you talking about?
What's the so like for example, what's the current case number they're telling the whole world?
Yesterday.
It's 5,291
5K.
COVID.
Right. But I mean I can't remember what it was specifically, but they said they changed it and they no longer will broadcast the 5-digit number. Instead, they are broadcasting
The recovered, I think.
Is it the recovered cases? No, the active serious cases or something like that. Yeah.
What?
I can't, because if you think about it, right, everyone has the RTK test now. And everyone is like vaccinated already, right? Kind of thing. So if you tested positive on your RTK at home, is everyone going and reporting it to the KKM as per usual? Right?
Yes.
I don't know. I need to go and check it up again, but that's the discrepancies that's in my life right now that I gotta go check it out. But hey, everyone seems to be living life as freaking usual now. Going out strolling, just ripping off their masks, sitting next to each
Packing
other.
up the LRT.
Oh, trash. That's what we're talking about today.
What are you talking about, man?
I need to set up a segue for you because the topic is trash in the treasure.
Yes,
so
thank you.
This is going off the rails, but
This is going off the
let's
rails.
go back to the train station.
We tried to again, like last week, we're trying to replicate and mimic or redo what was attempted in the
Yes,
previous podcast, but
attempted,
unfortunately, we couldn't get Desmond in today because Desmond is just
Life, just life.
Daddy.
yeah. But the next best person we could get is someone who got scammed in real estate as well, just like Desmond. We got Graham with us today. Graham is just committed to the biggest scam of all time, living in Subang. I'm so sorry.
It's not a scam.
Jeremy's offended.
Okay, I'm just gonna bye. Thanks for watching this episode. We're gonna wrap it up right here.
I'm so
See you
sorry.
guys
I'm so
next
sorry. I'm sorry. Okay,
Wow.
no. We've got Graham in the podcast with us. Graham's no stranger to some of you guys. And today we're going to be talking about some very interesting things because Graham's also an avid seller and buyer. We'll talk about that just in a bit. But
Really?
when it comes to markets today, I was talking to the guys about this, and Malaysia is in a very sweet spot of buying and selling. Like there's no longer a need to always buy something new from from brands or shops themselves. You can actually get a very good deal on the number of platforms that are available to you as a user. So you got Facebook Marketplace, you got Shopee. Shopee, Lazada are quite new. Sometimes you can find secondhand as well. But there's Carousel, and then you can sell stuff on Instagram. And last time it used to be Muda. Oh my gosh, Muda is like the #1 place.
Good thing Desmond not here today.
Oh, someone might start crying. But yeah, what do you guys think about this? And even before the existence of this, what was your first time, if you can remember, what was your first experience buying a second-hand item?
Oh my gosh.
Oh shit.
Now we're playing games. Now we're cooking fire.
Sorry, how like secondhand fire? Graham, why don't you start it off, Graham? Give us your
Graham,
background, because when you led it up, right? What's your experience? Like, he kind of
What's
like
your experience being a merchant?
yeah, he kind of hyped you up. Okay, so come on, show us your merchant skills. Level what in Ragnarok faster? What's the deal?
I think in general, Malaysians, or especially like people our age, we've come a long way from this whole secondhand marketing. I remember growing up, the thing is always get new. Like even in the family, whenever we want to buy stuff, right? My mom's we got one time I was trying to get a car as well, and then my mom, the whole philosophy is always just get new one. Because you never know, what they did with the car, why they want to sell it.
Yeah. That's very new.
A huge hassle, and usually they will want to like just avoid that. But I think in recent years, with the whole like, need to save the earth, just like, not just that, but I think just the whole message of, hey, actually secondhand stuff is not that bad. Like even for fashion, I think there's a lot of like secondhand shops where you can go and get stuff
so much,
and things like that. So it has definitely shifted in terms of buying secondhand things. And I think just like a year or two ago, that was when I started like getting secondhand stuff. I can't remember what's the first thing that I bought, but I do remember going on to Carousel and looking at stuff and even putting some of my own stuff up there to sell as well. So I think, definitely there's a change when it comes to people's perspective on secondhand item. And from my experience, you have, of course, like the low ballers that I really, really hate. Like you put, let's say 100, they didn't say anything. They just say 20 can. Like boom, sure, it drop. There's those kind. Then there's those that are really friendly. Like yesterday, I just sold one of my curtains. I just recently moved into this new place and I got like some existing curtains that I sold. The person just like bang in first. I just come and collect. When I pass the thing to him, she didn't even check. She's just like, okay, bye-bye. Like, I'm like, are you sure you don't want to check? She's like, yeah, it's okay. I trust you. Then she just ciao. Then there's like the good kind and I'm like, oh, okay. Then I just followed up with like, how's the things and everything like that.
Yeah.
But I think in general, definitely Malaysians have really grown accustomed to the whole second-hand buying and selling. And in my experience, I really enjoyed selling stuff. Like now, I think usually last time it's like, this one, hand me down, pass to someone, pass to your cousin, pass to this shirt, or this item, pass to someone. But now I'm like, how much can I squeeze out of this old iPhone 7 Plus that I'm no longer using? Like, how much can I get back? So the whole mindset is different. I think that's for me, that's my experience. Buying and selling.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to have a lot of secondhand items, like growing up when I was like 6 or 7, 5 years old, right? Secondhand hanger lah, secondhand shirt lah, secondhand mango lah, that's what my grandpa would call it when we climb over the fence and then take the neighbor's one. So we take the mango from the neighbor, it's secondhand mango lah, So I'm a big believer in secondhand item. I got a lot of story last time, but then the neighbor don't really believe in secondhand, I can tell you that. So sometimes you got to bargain a bit, One day take mango, second day take rambutan, and then take until my grandma come out and say, stop! Give it back.
I don't know where that's going.
On a more related note, you're right. I think the secondhand market, right? Wow, the low baller is a really big B word, man. But let's not get into that right now. Okay. Graham has proved his point. He has dabbled, bedabbled. I'm going to be on the other end of the extreme, right?
Mia doesn't really buy secondhand stuff.
I don't buy secondhand stuff. I think until the MCO season, right? I've never really just to set the bar lah. I don't really buy stuff in general. Okay, so if I buy stuff, I just buy the new one and then I use it until the thing dies, like literally dies. So I don't. Unfortunately, I do not complete the circle because I do not even sell my stuff because I use it to its death. So
really?
None.
No.
I really use until like. If I stop using it, you shouldn't be using it. That
friends
kind of
and
thing.
family? Do you sell to friends and family?
I give. I don't sell. And I only give stuff if they're still working lah. I got friends and...
at that point, why you want to give already if it's like hanging by...
God, that's why people put on Carousel and then sell people, got one.
Okay, there is though. There is.
Yeah, I don't do that. I really just use something until it can't be used anymore. And I would feel too shit if I want to give this to someone. So it's either I give you straight up, like we have missionary friends, we have friends who go for like charity work and stuff, right? I remember I bought a Switch like barely 2 months old, and my friend was like, "Oh, I really would like, if only I could have a Switch to go." Like she was going to Cambodia or something. I can't remember to go. I'm like, okay, I take it. Oh, okay. I borrow it from you first. Yeah, borrow. It's okay. Don't give me back. I'm like, okay. And she was like, what? And that is my concept of like secondhand. Like, I don't go and ask for people to like sell me their secondhand stuff.
I don't know how that works. That's weird.
Yeah,
I'm the other
you-
extreme. I'm the other
that's
extreme.
just-
I'm the other extreme.
That's just charity. It's not like
In a certain sense, secondhand. Yes.
Jeremy, after last week's story about you on the hunt to get your Apple
No,
Watch,
that's 2
right?
weeks ago. Last week was the ghost stories.
I mean,
Got it wrong.
at this
Okay,
point,
it's
who
fine.
really cares, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
honestly, yes. But
Like,
yeah.
What was your first secondhand item? Or like, do you remember buying something that you were like, oh, I don't mind getting this secondhand?
So I don't know actually when is my last the first secondhand item I've got, because I bought a bunch of secondhand items in my life, but I know when is the first time I sold something, and that was 7 years ago on Carousel.
Oh,
In that time, there was no Facebook Marketplace.
You're looking at the history.
I'm looking at
transactions.
history. I'm looking at history. So that was my first thing, but it was not even for me. It was for a friend.
ooh.
And that time,
friend?
so that
Is it a
time,
girl?
no, it was a guy.
Okay.
It was a toy. It was a toy. It was like an Assassin's Creed, like
Ooh,
like it's a blade,
the wrist blade.
the wrist blade. Then
Yeah.
like he told me like, oh Jeremy, can you help me sell it? And I was like, okay lah. So I set up a Carousel profile and I listed it up there, but no one wanted to buy. And then one guy bought it. So that was and it was quite one of a pretty interesting experience because it was not my item. But I think overall, I would say that last time it was still a bit strange to buy off Secondhand Market. I think, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like only like in the last 4 years, maybe I was a bit more open. When I was starting to like start my career and stuff, I think it didn't make sense for me to buy like a super new item. So like buying a secondhand would still solve the issue, but like, you know, it's not gonna like burn a hole in my wallet. Yeah, that's my experience at least.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was when Jeremy mentioned like tracking back, I also tracked back. I saw what I bought already. So one of the first things that I bought and sold as well is on Jam Tang.
My goodness.
Guitar
Wow.
pedal
You
that's like
musicians.
the OG
Y'all know what this is, man. Yeah.
secondhand.
Wow.
So I bought a pedal, electric guitar pedal. I still have it actually. Yeah, I bought it on Jamtech and I sold one as well. I sold my audio interface on Jamtech.
Wow,
So I
okay.
think that was like my
Wow,
first
that was
experience.
I think that's the OG Facebook
yeah,
group.
2019
Yeah.
when I
Oh, I bought
Quite recent, yeah.
my shoes off the second market in 2016. So that's the first time I bought something, I guess, secondhand that I have a record of. Yeah.
So that's some pretty interesting first. I mean, you guys didn't really answer the question. Some of you did about your first items that you bought. For me, I'm really like, I think growing up, we had a lot of hand-me-downs. And so there was a lot of like things that you get like, this one, the pencil box already got like 4 holes inside. But sometimes you get something that's like completely new. And my mom's side, my mom had this aunt in Singapore, and so she's our great aunt. And they come to a really well-to-do family, and the son, who I guess is my mom's cousin, like he's a guy, and he would give us a lot of his branded shoes and t-shirts. A lot of them couldn't fit because they were bigger than us, but it's so cool to have like brand new Nikes that you could never wear because they're just so big, right? So it was like that to me was like, actually there is a lot of value in it. And when I went to England, I did a bit of a business buying and selling secondhand stuff. And I made and lost a lot of money also. So we'll jump into that a little bit later. I think on the topic of secondhand markets, right? There is I know that there is a bit of a hesitance to it because some people feel like, why would I want to buy something that has already been bought and used when I can get it brand new without any defect, with that guarantee that it's brand new from the market, right? But I think you're looking at the consumer behavior that is changing today, because now people generally take care of things slightly better, and also if you know how to search for things, you can find some really, really good deals, right?
Wait,
I
if you
actually
think
took the
about it,
time. I actually took the time to log in my carousel again while you
Oh
guys
my
were talking,
goodness.
and my
Okay.
line was dropping. I've actually sold 3 things on carousel, 4 things on carousel.
wow, what's
Uniqlo men's V-neck tee, Uniqlo V-neck tee,
Okay.
button style Uniqlo V-neck tee.
Okay,
I basically
You
just
went
sold like
before
4
one,
shirts.
Or
Yeah.
like, you wore them or
That's
like
it.
it's brand new?
No, I think I bought a lot of Uniqlo. I mean, guys, like, look at my shirt. I literally just wear these shirts my whole life, right? I think I bought a few colors that were like, that's not my thing, and I never wore them. Yeah, and I sold them for $5 each, and one guy came and bought all of them. So like,
Wow, I think that's a steal. I mean, compared to the
Good
Uniqlo
seller.
prices.
Pretty
Yeah,
whack,
right.
What a good seller you are. But
Oh,
actually,
man.
Mingyu had a really good point earlier when he said that, like things are changing and we are taking care, like the secondhand items are pretty taken care of. And
yeah.
actually, I feel like in the recent years, like when I would use my phone, I'll be more like I would throw the box away and I will like I don't
Right.
care if it's scuffed and all. But now, right, with my new phone, right, I make an intentional effort and decision
You keep everything,
to keep
right?
it in pristine condition.
I
My
know what
box,
you mean.
The USB cable, it's not even out yet because it's the same like cable.
Same.
I just leave it in the box. The packaging never touch at all. The phone, right, I make sure I bought like an expensive case, so if it drops, right, I won't get marks. Because in the secondhand market, if you like
That counts.
break, one mark, right, they'll be like, oh, sorry, well, get
Yeah.
a discount, 500.
Maybe-
Yeah,
100
correct.
Maybe people are more intentional now because of the access of like, Shopee and like Carousel, right? Like you do that. But what's something that's, since you said that, right? Something very weird. I don't sell secondhand stuff, right? But I'm also the kind of person, I have literally every single box of every single electronic that I own.
I do. I'm a hoarder also.
actually-
I
yeah,
I have a question. So this one,
Okay.
right, was when I first started buying stuff, and then I realized this: when you have the box, you sell much higher one. Like
Yeah.
what's the correlation
Okay.
with like having a box? Sometimes they just like with box but not original box.
Yeah,
Then they
correct.
can charge
Sometimes
me
people
like
just sell the
extra.
box.
Yeah, why? What's
Okay,
the box and the
I suspect, right, for shoes, I think shoes are a very big thing.
okay shoes? Okay,
Shoes with box, because I feel like if you're buying an expensive shoes, let's say like Minghan knows like the Yeezys, those like higher end like streetwear
Some require
brands.
the box.
Yeah,
Yes.
the box is part of the experience of
It's
owning
part of the
the
shoe
device. Yeah, it's part of the
itself.
shoe.
Yes,
So
yes.
they will actually like some of these people would like they will put it as a decoration in your house because
yeah.
the box is nice and it's and I think with phones also when you get the box it feels more complete. Because
Yeah,
you
it
have
does.
the you have the
I
thing,
agree.
so I think
I agree.
in those sense it works. Because I don't keep boxes like shavers and all. I think those boxes like
Right.
no one.
Why?
Why?
If you want to sell, people want to buy.
I won't sell it. Why would I sell a
disgusting, man.
shaver?
That's-
See?
I always keep my Airism underwear packaging. Just
Are you
just
serious?
In case, just in case people want to buy from me or something.
I keep my
I don't know.
toothbrush, the
I want to buy. I want to
packaging.
buy.
Oh
If you
wow,
guys
Minghan,
want-
that's next level.
No, but I mean, no. Graham has a point. In some, I guess, in some
Categories,
markets,
right?
Okay,
yes.
like okay, guitar pedal. Let's talk about that.
I
like
would
the
prefer,
box.
lah, to be honest, if I
With
was
box.
buying from you and you show me the effort that you actually still have the box,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I feel that, okay, lah, I'll pay a bit extra compared, like you bunkos in the pink plastic bag and send to me,
Okay.
Oh,
like, you know-
yeah, that's fair enough.
you know? Because maybe to some people, storage is also important, like i.e. myself, right? But for some, I would think lah, for higher end products or for some products, the box actually has serial numbers as well, right?
Yes,
And
true.
the box, like for shoes
yes, yes.
or
The
for
warranty
collectibles,
card,
right? Correct. It actually gives the validity that item is original for some boxes. Yeah.
So do you think that as the price increases, right, the more important the packaging is?
Yes.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
say like if it's a 5,000 ringgit item versus like a 20 ringgit item. I think I don't care
100%.
if the 20 ringgit item has a box.
I mean,
or
you want to buy a
packaging.
Rolex off someone's wrist or in the case, that
Yeah,
kind of
it's
thing,
true.
right?
I mean,
Okay.
I
yeah.
think
Yeah.
I think there is an unspoken understanding about someone who still keeps the box, because if you can keep the box and maintain that cleanliness, right, it also shows that you are particular to the item and that you are giving a shit about it, rather than I throw the box away, then my iPhone I beat up the scratches that I sell, compared to somebody who comes to you with like, I still got box, I still got the original receipt, I have all this I can give you, right? You have a bit of peace of mind that actually this person has tried their best to take care of the item. So I think to me, that's how I also sell a lot of stuff on. I try to keep as much as the original packaging. And just how Graham was saying, like when it comes to guitar pedals, right? Dude, you ask Minghan, like the first few years of us making like videos and everything, when I earn money, all my money go into my guitar
Our
pedal.
whole upstairs is boxes of guitar stuff.
Yeah, correct. It's all
Guitar-
just guitar pedal boxes on. Seriously.
Guitar pedal box, this box, that box, guitar box, guitar case box,
The M box, box
cable
for
box.
everything, bro. Seriously.
Okay, wait.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting question I want to ask. How long do you think you should keep it for? Okay, so I have a whole cabinet in my room that
I
is
also
filled with
have
boxes.
a lot of boxes.
But I want to ask, for you guys, what is the duration where you feel, okay, I'm not probably going to sell this anymore?
100% this one ask Mingyu.
this is
Mingyu
really
has
good
this thing that he validates his buying, okay? I have not seen something in the house that stays for more than 2 years.
Okay, 2 years.
Very few
So
things.
there
yeah.
is like apparently, I guess lah, you would like to say, I'm guessing, I'm just going to put my 2 cents here. I would like to read an ad that is like 3 months old guitar up for sale compared to like 10 years guitar up for sale, unless that's like an antique guitar, right? But Mingyu has a time frame, like I think everyone notices like, okay, there's a certain time frame of how long this item is going to be here. If you're happy, not happy with it, bye-bye.
Yes.
If you're happy with it, the only thing that will make you unhappy with it if you find something that makes you happier and then bye-bye.
Correct.
Right? But what's the time frame? I don't know.
Yeah.
You ask me this one.
Like I feel with certain items you want to keep the boxes either for like resale value. So like iPhones, iPads,
devices,
speakers, headphones, mouse, stuff like that. You can potentially sell with the box. So that one you keep in one section. Things that you confirm will use like for example, like my Secret Lab chair. Right, like this one.
That one I throw.
I'm not going to keep the box. Honestly, it's a gorgeous box. But I don't think
it's so big.
I for Mingan, like when he unboxed his Razer chair, it's a gorgeous unboxing experience. But there's no way in heck he kept the box.
Oh yeah, no. Suyan throw it out immediately.
Yeah, it's like some things you just cannot,
Yeah.
But then there are smaller things like, for example, like my coach Michael B. Jordan Naruto collaboration. Like I'm not gonna sell it off, but I still keep like the bag and the box and the plastic and the paper bag that came with it because it's like wow, this is special. This is something I have to remember. But there's one point of time where I feel like we gotta just be quite smart with the boxes that we keep lah. Like we try keeping. Me and I, every time we go overseas, we will buy a pair of Nike shoes, right? And after a while, right, the number of shoe boxes we had didn't even make sense. It's like, why you keep so many for one? You're obviously not going to sell it. Nobody's going to buy this shit already.
It's like dead space. Yeah, like you wear the shoe until you're hangus already, then the box still there, The box like pristine condition.
Like some people, like I know like Joseph Germani and Shingy, our friends, right? Like they have a special room in their house for the shoes. And like 50% is shoes, 50% is boxes. Some people keep the shoes in the boxes. But then for us, right, who are like, daily burners, daily drivers, right? Like sometimes I know people keep the shoe for like bragging rights, the box for bragging rights. But for us, realistically, it's just taking up space.
That time we didn't know, Like at a certain point, the shoes that we buy, some of these boxes don't need to keep one. Right?
Correct.
You're going to buy daily shoes. It's like every plastic bag we open our shirt from, we keep, like for what, right? But we didn't know. It's the sentimental value of like, wow, we finally can travel the world, We buy the boxes back from Korea and New York The only thing it really did is piss my mom off, okay?
Correct.
So I think it's a part of learning the item properly, I guess. Because at the end of the day, we used the shoes so much, there was no way we were going to sell it, no matter how good the box was going to look.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Okay. Yeah, but I also feel like even talking about the boxes and deciding when to clear it, right, shows that like there is seasons one where you feel and you value something very much in that season, right? But then in 2 years' time, right, you went from like Ultra Boost to Yeezys, right? And then you'll be like, this Ultra Boost box I keep for what? The box got no value. Now my Yeezy box got value. So you keep the Yeezy boxes. Then next time you go and buy like a completely different shoe, then you want to keep that box because that one has more value. I think that's just how humans are in general, and that's why that's why it's good to kind of like be objective about it lah. Like you want to hoard, don't lah. It's not good for your health basically. I think that's a good point to just kind of remember and take stock, right? Because you don't want to be a slave to the things that you've bought.
Yeah, I don't want to be a warehouse in your house. Yeah.
Wow, good
Wow, look at the analogy.
Wow,
really good. But really, all my boxes are really here. Really, some of the boxes should keep like the phone boxes, right? I mean, for my podcast, you all can't see shit. But if you are tuning into YouTube, like some, I think it's education lah. Like you buying it intentionally. Most of the mess happens when you buy something and you didn't expect to sell it, and suddenly you want to sell it, then you mess it up like completely. And too bad for you, you got to sell it at a discount. But if you're buying with the intention of like, I'm going to use this for a while and I'm probably going to sell it off, of course you're going to get the packaging. That's pretty much it.
So that's, I guess, more of like, keeping and storing. But I think the bigger question that we want to also tackle is why, when, or how do you decide that you will buy something secondhand? So on the speaker panel today, we've got a very wide variety of customers and consumer behaviors, right? So starting with Minghan on the far end of the spectrum, he generally doesn't buy secondhand stuff.
Oh, now I do. Nowadays I do.
Now you do.
But not as much lah.
Yeah. So
very Very niche.
Maybe we can go into it very quickly. Just shout out like the categories of items you would buy, why you would and why you wouldn't buy some of these things. And then we can just like maybe talk about that for a bit.
So I dabble in two different kind of secondhand buys. I won't even call it secondhand lah. Secondhand refers to I've used the item, right? If that's the definition of secondhand, I only buy in collectible markets. I don't really buy in like I want to daily use this kind of thing, because like I said, I think in terms of your buying habits also have to match your using habits, right? And I really milk the value out of everything I buy. So if I'm buying something expensive, I make sure I use it to its utmost ability, to a point where I don't even need to convince myself I need to change it, right? But when I do, the secondhand items that I do decide to buy is if it's a collectible that I can attain by buying secondhand much easier if I bought it firsthand. For example, in the collectible scene, it's all about access, right? So I want for example, Pokemon card. I'll only buy it secondhand because the set on itself to draw that card is just way too much probability and risk. For example, I'd rather buy up like even though a booster pack can be like $15, for example, right? For a card, for a pack of 11 cards, I would rather buy a card at $200 right off than risk having to go through multiple booster packs. So I buy a secondhand per se card, like a pulled card or a draw card, right? So that's what people do to just lower the amount of you potentially spending more. You just buy it straight, for example, or
interesting.
I would buy like lined up shoes or collectibles. Like compared to me going to the store and like, having to line up for it first. That kind of thing. That's my definition of like, I would buy it off someone, not I would buy it straight from retail, for example, right?
Okay.
But in terms of that, the only stuff in my whole house we've ever really bought secondhand is baby items that are like the chairs,
from friends and stuff. You don't want to pick it off like freaking stuff. Like.
Correct. It's very you have to be like very. You have to of course do your due diligence lah. I mean, sure, I'm talking to the correct crowd here lah. Breast pumps, okay, sure, guys, come on.
I mean, Graham's so familiar with breast pumps.
Like that, you don't go and buy secondhand cheat kind of thing, like what the heck, why would you
buy a secondhand toothbrush? You can't. You can't do that.
So that's it. That is the span of my secondhand. Next.
Jeremy, are you open to buying secondhand stuff?
I do that quite regularly actually. So I almost like when I was doing live streams last year, I had to bring around monitors, and I was setting up for church. I said needed a monitor. That stuff I went to the secondhand market, and I'm that kind of buyer, that if I need it, I will make sure I will do the deal today. I don't know if it's
you don't like to wait one, right?
I cannot. I'll be like,
you quite
yeah, I'll say boleh buat deal sekarang or tomorrow. And then I would like even my monitors in my room, only for the second monitor I have, my main monitor I actually bought it second hand. And I had to drive all the way to some like shady place in like Kepong or somewhere to get this monitor. But I would do that kind of stuff because I feel like I will get a better deal off it than to get it off the store. And also like I will get electronics, I think is a major play for things that is like that is not my daily driver.
That's true.
Phones,
That's
right?
True.
Phones and laptops, I've recently like learned to not go the second-hand route. Just personal preference lah. But clothing, I don't mind buying second-hand, but if it's more expensive clothes, like the brands that are a bit more.
Yeah.
I'm going to chip in right here when Jeremy said, I love buying second-hand bad choices.
Bad choices?
I love buying bad choices, meaning the guy regret immediately when he buy.
Oh.
But he cannot sell full price. I'm going to buy it because I'm not going to go to the shop.
Everyone loves that, dude.
Yeah, so like I think that's the best secondhand market, the bad choice market.
But how do you know? You see, that's the thing.
Because in the collectible market, they will say
really?
I made a bad choice. I bought this.
So this doesn't happen in electronics though. No one like there is some people say bought two weeks but decide to change laptop or something. So but devices I won't use. Camera gear I think I have bought a bunch. So I think it's mainly the electronic and like fashion realm, but I won't buy people's like Uniqlo shirt or whatever. I feel like I would just rather just buy it new because I don't know what like bodily fluids have went into the clothes.
That's interesting. Okay. Graham. Now we're talking business. Graham.
Yeah.
This one.
I think for me, definitely, like I mentioned just now, all the gears and all the like guitar stuff or even electronics, lenses, I've got secondhand as well, camera equipments, all of these things. I don't mind getting secondhand, and of course, you need to check to see, you know, if it's worth the value or not. But same like Jeremy, I think clothing I won't get. But different from Jeremy is that even higher end clothing I won't even get secondhand, because again, you never know what that piece of shirt or pants
Just touch what body.
went through, and whose body touched it before. So for me, it's a big no for that. I'd rather get all my shirt new. But
So you don't thrift shop?
yeah, I don't thrift shop.
Ah.
I've went to those shops before, like I think in 15 go on if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere there.
Yeah.
I went in, but I'm like, okay, I'm not. Why?
So
Just
why-
uncomfortable.
Wait.
Just uncomfortable, is it?
Didn't Minghan do a vlog in the
I
thrift
went
store?
thrift
Yeah.
shopping. Yeah.
How was that? Like, was
Itchy.
Yeah. Oh,
Very itchy.
Oh,
Itchy.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, very itchy. A lot of dust. But it was a very interesting experience that I will say some people actually have the skill of thrift shopping.
Oh, definitely.
Like,
Yes,
no,
yes.
no,
Yeah.
no joke. Like, not just to buy for themselves, they would buy it and flip it for even higher.
Yeah.
Right? So if you have the eye, it'll be great. But I also agree with Graham to a certain point. I'm not going to buy like Levi's jeans that, you know, you turn at the back, right, got a bit of brown staining one or that kind of thing, right? Like, not my kind of jam, you know?
That's again back to due diligence. Like, I don't buy a 3 out of 10 condition clothing lah. That one just go into the trash lah.
But that's the thing. Thrift shop is like that one. It's a 3 out of 10 that people like, you know?
You
Like
never know, right?
Yeah, the
When
more
you
vintage looking it is, I really want to put this on my body. Not me. Not Graham probably.
But I think one thing that I've learned buying and selling online is again, if we want to talk about like those people who just like want to throw prices, one thing that I recently been started doing and I realized that is working is that I'll put a price slightly higher than what the market is. Then people would like message you, right? Instead of like bargaining with them, I'll just straight away tell them how much do you think this item is worth to you. Then they'll just throw a price for me lah. Instead of like, I want to discount lah. I'm traveling very far lah. A lot one like, aku datang dari jauh lah, please lah, boss. All of this, right? I'll just be like, you tell me how much are you willing to pay? Then if it fits the amount that I want, then I'll just go. If not, I'll just meet the middle or something like that. So I think that's
interesting.
great.
Oh, this
Something
one
that
is
I've learned recently.
experience.
You just tell
yeah.
them if you were to buy this, how much are you willing to pay? Because one thing that I really, really don't like is people who buy stuff from me and say like, I got from another buyer for cheaper lah. Then you go
Then
and
you buy
buy
from
lah.
him
Why you want to come?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
That's
I
hate
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
They're
No,
like,
no.
that
That
guy's
is-
selling.
that is one level of bad. The worst one, right, is they say, let's COD. You meet that person, then they say, can it be cheaper or not?
No.
Bro,
I'll
the
just
one
go back
he
to my
asked
car.
for cheaper, he came to my house. He was literally standing here. Then he saw, he's like, tak nak lah. What?
Okay lah, but that one is fine. Like when you go outside, like when you take the effort to drive to a location to meet up, and the guy says like, "Can you give me another 100 ringgit discount or another 200 ringgit discount?"
Yeah,
Then
the
you're
guy, the guy came, he
but
wanted
then you,
cheaper.
but then you also want the money, right? You want the
Oh.
money, so like just
That,
No.
I guess to certain people, this is both the pros and cons of
of secondhand market.
doing secondhand sales lah, you know, because there's no regulation to it. You can sell and buy whatever you want at whatever price. It's
100%.
perceived value, ma. But I mean, you guys are all ninnies lah when it comes to to buying
Then
secondhand
what about you?
things, bro. Like you gotta find the real treasures. Every time I go to Japan, I always buy a secondhand guitar. All guitars I own are secondhand guitars because they are better than first-hand guitars.
There's some things like that make sense. Some things
Wait,
that
have
make sense.
any of you went to like cash converters or something?
Yeah,
Yes.
dude. I made like
Yes.
£3,000 in England at cash converters.
No, in Malaysia.
No, it sucks,
there-
lah.
Malaysia got nothing.
Malaysia got nothing on. It's
So there
very-
are cash converters near office.
Yeah.
You know the one
it's
facing
not
the main
amazing.
road? It's
It's
but
not
I
amazing.
don't know like
The good
okay.
stuff, you will find is really on online one. People won't bring the stuff to
Cash converters, right?
Yeah.
In
tell you
England,
what.
it's different because in England they don't have that much. They're not very tech savvy, to be honest. In a lot of smaller towns, so they just bring everything they have to cash converters,
And they need the
throw it
money
there.
lah when they need the
Correct.
money.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay,
So it's
okay.
different. I think for me, when it comes to buying secondhand stuff, it's really what you're using it for and whether it's a necessity or a additional luxury, right? So I've bought tech. And that's actually how I first stepped into the world of like secondhand stuff, right? In England, I sold off like a phone that I had, and then I bought like a secondhand phone, and then I started flipping a lot. I bought GoPro cameras for Black Friday sales and then sold them higher later on in January. I've done like lots of the kind of stuff, and then I got into like yo-yos and guitars, collectibles. I always find out like what is the lowest price, highest price, how I can get the highest price, try it and then sell it off. And literally, and this is something that I'm probably going to do later in the future, but if there's anything you wanted to buy and you told me what the category was, I can get you at least... No, not a good deal. I can give you a pretty good background information on what available options there are according to a budget and what you need. Because I generally like doing research. So there are different seasons of my life where I'm looking at camera gear, music gear, guitar gear. I'm looking at, bicycles. I'm looking at cars and motorbikes and computers and tech. There are so many things that that if you look into like the secondhand market, right? There are people who try to get a good deal, but then they're just really rich people who buy stuff and then change their mind about it. And that's the beauty of stuff. Like my guitar, my Martin guitar that I bought from Japan is worth like, I bought it for like 7,000 ringgit. The original price is 23,000 ringgit.
Okay. And you bought it for itself?
7,000 ringgit. Like,
and then,
think about that. And the sound is incredible. I brought it back. I let my guitar guy set it up. He's like, Mingyu, if you don't want this, right, I'll just buy it from you for like double the price you bought it. And I was like, it's okay. I'll hold on to it. Like there's so many things. And what I like about it, especially with like, music instruments and vehicles and sometimes clothes as well, that there's always a story to it. And but that's also if, you trust the place and the person selling it, then you want to listen to why you're even getting it. But when it comes to like cleanliness and all that, it's hard. I know what you guys mean. It gets a bit icky when you think about maybe having to buy like this cool Gucci underwear or pants that you saw someone wear, and then you get it from this guy and he's like, there's stains on it. You're like, where is this from? That's I don't have to deal with that. Yeah. I don't have to deal with that, man. It's a lot. So I feel like there's the market is continuously growing, and this is a conversation that we had recently with some of the people in the office, that how Malaysians now, right, there's a trend in buying certain things. For example, iPhones. You will see a surge in consumer behavior, people buying iPhones from the previous year when the new year's iPhones start becoming more available. Because Apple technology is great and people want to get it, but they may not have the money to own the brand new model, so they buy last year's model. And then we see just a spike in the searches across all the platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Carousel, Muda, all of that, right? What is something that you've never bought secondhand, but after today's podcast you want to try buying?
Everyone's going to try and buy a $7,000 guitar after that, I can tell you that.
No,
this one is actually 24,000. This one is actually 24,000. No,
you probably won't find that online.
No, but before they even answer that, right, everything you just said, right, to a certain extent, you need to like define, are you buying secondhand market for use, or do you want to like legitimately get good at shopping on the secondhand market, right?
Yeah.
Because if you don't know anything about secondhand market, I highly recommend that you don't buy stuff from the second market.
Definitely.
If your only reason is I want cheaper stuff, don't do it. It's not worth the value because you don't know what you're looking at. You don't know the whole climate. That it's not like a welcome to Uniqlo, I'm going to service you. No, these guys don't give a shit about you. Like literally, they would turn up and
just want to earn as much as they can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I would say that the reason to enter the second market should not predominantly be I want cheap stuff. You need to know your way around.
You need to know what you're looking for.
Yeah, you're going to lose some money along the way for sure. And it's really a skill set, because I think like if you guys are those people who literally flip stuff for profits, contact us, let us know you want to know your story.
Oh, yes.
Because it's a real deal. The flipping market is a really smart one. There are a lot of people, especially right now. There's a lot of things, I'm very sure. Thanks actually for reminding me, Jeremy, because I definitely want to go to a cash converter soon. Like during times where there's economic stress, the places like cash converters, places like the thrift shops and everything will be full of very valuable items because people are selling their stuff off
because they need the money,
for cash, right? And then you have this thing, what they call it a buyer's market, for example. So the buyers have the power in determining, how cheap they want to buy something, right? And this is where the secondhand market, I think, really comes into play these days, because people are realizing that it's not just a place that you can get good stuff. It's a place where you can actually make a living if you do it right.
Yeah.
But it also comes with everything, like, what Graham and Jeremy have experienced. There are people who be like, please lah, give me $100 off. The thing is like $102. You want me to sell this at $2 to you? Is it? Like, what's the deal with this right now, right?
Yeah.
This is all a skill set you need to learn, because it's not, unlike retail, the trade-off is these guys don't respect you. These guys don't care about you. You're not their customer. You are their profit, and you're not going to expect any
refunds one.
Yeah, there's no refund. There's no service tax here, guys. You're not paying for any service, right? And I'm pretty sure you will get burned once in a while. But to actually navigate the second market, there is
a lot of benefits actually.
Yes, there's a lot of benefits, but those benefits, they have to be they have to be backed by skill and knowledge.
Yeah.
You don't go in not knowing anything, to buy stuff. But okay, one thing that I don't know, I'll be honest with you guys. According to what Mingyu just asked, I want to flip furniture in the secondhand market. Yeah, it's something that even Suyan and I were talking about for a while. I want to flip furniture or decorative items in the house.
I think you can, honestly. Like, I feel like there's a lot of potential for that market.
Because I love handiwork. It's something that I don't like craft. Don't get me wrong. I like woodwork and stuff like that, right? So I've always thought I like actually the vintage furnitures that is really pokai already. Like people burst the cushion and everything, right? So I might try that after this. I always wanted to try that.
Actually, I watched some IG reels recently, and these people say, "Oh, I bought this drawer for $10, or my uncle gave it to me, and it's so worn down." Then you see them doing a time lapse of them cleaning it and painting it, and then it looks aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah,
you could buy it, and then he said, "Oh, I sold it for $150." I'm like,
yeah,
that's
simple.
Times 15% from $10, or it's a profit that you got for free. Just that the cost of the equipment, but
the man hours,
but if you're doing it for a long term thing, if you have all the paint and everything already, if you're gonna do multiple furnitures, I wouldn't see why not, right? It's a good idea.
But that's one thing I want to try. Well, you guys, what is the try?
Graham.
I think for me is furniture as well, definitely, because moving. Actually, I have another question that maybe after this we can talk about. Is that when I moved into this new place, some of the items, not to say secondhand, but the word is display units. What do you guys think about display units? So
I would go for it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a sofa actually right now. So they don't have stock, only have display units. So I'm like, should I
buy? Yeah, I would buy.
You will buy.
Just clean,
You need the cleaner. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I need to go and have a look first.
If you think about it, right, if they say display unit, they would also keep it in relatively pristine condition, ma. Right? They're not going to
sit before where they
I guess so lah. But that is, I mean, the transporting of the furniture, so they probably sit on it lah. I mean, just for phones, right? I know Machines or Switch or those Apple stores, they do have X demo units and all that you could buy for 15, 20, 30% off the retail price. So if you're into that kind of stuff, I think why not, right? Because you can save a penny, and these are, I guess, more legitimate than, because it's a proper establishment that's selling it, right? It's not the secondhand market already. So it's kind of a grey area of it's also secondhand, and also it's by a reputable seller.
I stumbled into the display unit thing by
accident.
choice. Yeah, by accident, because I wanted to buy the keyboard for Suyan, and the only product they had left was a display unit. And I didn't know that you can haggle so much for a display unit. Yeah. So they're actually very open to it, because I was wow, how long has it been here already? How many months already?
I tried that. The guy don't want. He's like, no.
Yeah, some places are not
some
everyone.
Places,
you try to do that at Switch, they'll say no, bro.
Excuse me? Just walk out, man.
Exactly. But yeah, the display unit, I think some people are quite touchy about it, because how many people use the display unit? But
if you don't mind, actually, why not?
Yeah, just get the correct cleaners, guys.
Graham, so what's the thing you want to try that you've never done before?
That I never bought secondhand, is it? I think clothing.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
like
I
a
think
big jump.
you should
I
do
really
that,
need
yeah.
to go thrift shopping.
We should all
'cause-
like share our finds on Instagram, so then we're accountable to it, guys.
Wow.
Seriously,
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Jeremy, what about you?
Actually, I don't know. I feel like furniture might be an interesting exploration. Like if I'm trying to like revamp my room, you know, maybe buying like used paint, you know, to paint my room. Those kind of things maybe might be
Sorry, hold on,
So
hold
you-
on.
Wait,
Hold on.
use paint.
Use space on the walls, bro.
no
Leftover paint.
leftover paint.
Oh,
Sorry.
Leftover. How are you gonna get
I thought-
like consistent colors? What if like one guy has
Surprise me.
gray,
This mix
gray
Yes,
42
yeah.
and then
No
you only
lah,
have
I
half
mean-
of it to paint the wall, then you have to gray 36, you know?
Yeah, I mean like
paint lah,
the
not paint.
same color lah, the same
Okay, okay,
color.
okay.
I don't know. I've never thought about it, but
No. I think you can. I think you can.
What?
yeah,
Get
but
the paint.
also skincare
Yeah,
actually.
can.
You want to get secondhand skin?
No,
Sorry,
like,
what?
Care.
like so there is a market for those people like used like a bit, but they feel it's not used good for their skin. Then you save like 30% off. I don't know. I wanted to consider that actually because I was looking at skincare and I was like, whoa, that's pretty expensive. And I saw online it was really
Hey, 30%, tell you what, Lazada that time, all the Shopee, this kind of
11,
sales, you just ask us for vouchers,
11
we will
is
pass
coming,
and share
yeah.
vouchers, okay?
No lah, but
Oh my god.
I actually don't know what I would try because I feel like I'm really comfortable and I don't buy things also out of this like categories. So I think I'm pretty good where I am. Yeah. What about you, Mingyu?
For me, I've dabbled a lot in different categories for the secondhand market. I think I want to try. So I've bought bags, shoes, clothes. Okay, clothes I've actually never bought before because most of the clothes I buy is only like black color, white color. Buy secondhand for what? I just gonna buy brand new, right? I might buy. I bought like my first Chemex coffee maker was freaking secondhand as well. I buy a lot of secondhand stuff on. I might need
coffee
to get
stuff, coffee
some-
stuff.
Yeah, coffee stuff, coffee equipment, grinders and stuff, all secondhand one.
Yeah.
I want to actually get furniture. I think a lot of my furniture is new. And I need to get like some light for my house. So I'm very particular about stuff. So that's the hard part. I think just trying to find things that I like that are secondhand. Because I feel like the things that I like are people buy to keep one. So inshallah, got a rich guy who just wants to throw stuff out. Yeah.
Yeah, just be wise lah. I guess when you use different platforms like Carousel, Facebook Marketplace, there are filters you can use lah. And of course, because like these platforms need to make money, they offer like boost your post for like X amount of money, right? And then people will boost their post. Then if you don't do the due diligence and research, you will see like the top postings are all like people trying to sell it for a higher price. And then you might think, oh, that's already a good price. But if you scroll down, there might be a deal that is like maybe 100, 200 ringgit cheaper than that price. So I guess
Always check the seller.
The
And check
seller, the recent, and then whether or not it has like the spotlight. You know, like Carousel has a spotlight. If you see that one means they pay money to boost it up. There's nothing wrong with boosting it up. It's just that, you get a better deal if you do a bit more searching and be a bit open. And look at the reviews and their profiles. I think those are, my tips on how you guys should check
You
out.
never know, You could buy a couch, you open the cushion inside, got like money or gold or something. Or it's like the powder or the white powder, and then immediately, kids, popo come to your door. So, better be careful what seller you go, got stars or not, got recommendation reviews, huh? The only tip I will leave everyone with, who wants to go second market, always read the reviews. Read the seller reviews.
Read the seller reviews, please.
Please. Never go for a seller with 0 reviews. Started 2 days ago, that kind of thing.
Correct.
Okay, if they
that's
do, just look at the name of the people. If they're very shady names, then
Bots,
if it's
robots.
and like the name doesn't make like a real sentence, then of course don't go for that. But if it's a new name, it might be a new seller. But if their profile pictures, it does help a lot because it could be somebody who's behind the screen. And if they have a username, like let's say enterprise or something, then go do Google lah. Because I'm pretty sure if it's an enterprise, it probably has a listing like a company. It might be sometimes they do Shopee and Carousel and like Facebook Marketplace all one shot to gain more business. And so if you do the research, you might see they have other Google reviews or Shopee reviews. Then cross-reference and
Correct. I feel like we should do a seminar, on these things. Collectively, I think we have a lot of experience.
yeah,
A lot. Of
Usually,
experience.
what I do, I also search their Carousel username on Instagram or Facebook
Yes.
just to find like who are these people.
Correct.
That's
And then
like
a lot of times, right, you find actually like they advertise on multiple platforms on.
Yep.
So sometimes it's the same item cheaper on Facebook than Carousel. Then you go and find, then you be like, hey, why is that cheaper? I want the cheaper one.
No, yeah, and also when you're selling, I think that's in terms of buying, but when you're selling also, just be aware of who's buying.
Correct.
Who you're selling to, yeah.
For all of you, I would generally recommend you to always either post it, or if you can't post it, meet up in a well-populated area with a friend. All right, don't go alone.
Daytime lah. Don't go in middle of the night at the back of Jalan Imbi kind of thing, you know. Don't this kind of thing.
When I bought my monitor, it was pitch black in front of an apartment.
Hey.
Like in the middle of nowhere.
I saw one laptop somewhere in Kajang. We had to drive so deep inside, no lights on. Then I'm like, oh, wait, are we at the right place or not? I was with Lavinia. Yeah, please check where they stay and go Google Maps and search first. That was scary.
I'm gonna say, guys, like, yeah, just be safe. But I really feel we should do Flip Masters or Flip Kings or something. We should.
Masterclass.
And then we see how far we can go, you know, with like $100.
What's the American porn shop? Porn stars.
Hey, whoa! Jeremy! Yeah, I know. Porn.
Like PAWN, guys, not the other one. But
not sure what you want to flip, but that's not what I'm flipping, Jeremy.
No, that show is actually pretty interesting.
Yeah,
seeing how they run a pawn shop.
We could try. I see a lot of people on YouTube going from like, I flipped a hairpin into a Tesla kind of thing, right? But who knows?
Let's try it. Let's try it, right? Like maybe we'll plan something for this, guys. Yeah, the
takeaway store.
Yeah. Like, you know, everyone starts off with like 500 ringgit, and then to see what you can buy to flip.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can only do like 7 flips max, kind of thing, you know.
Then one person say, I bought a house.
Then you're like, wait, what? Hey, no, there's a show. There's actually a show like that. That someone started off like they flip small stuff, right? The end product is what is your net worth of that final purchase, right? Someone actually bought a car or a house with like a very small amount. I don't know how they did it.
I'm gonna say, right, the biggest flip market in my opinion now is the phone market. I would say that's the biggest.
Yeah.
Because I listed my dad's old phone.
Yeah.
It's
10 a.m. in the morning.
I can tell you it's not the biggest.
It's not.
Right now at your price point, maybe, but it's not. Yeah.
The Samsung,
for bigger value, but for smaller items and you have a lot, right? You can make a pretty penny, I would say.
Bro, you know what earns people money? Face mask, bro.
Face mask.
Secondhand.
Correct.
Mask?
Bro, yeah. You like the smart people they go and buy from the people who make it for cheap. And then online they're like 7 ringgit for 100 pack.
Yeah. I mean that one is the biggest market. For now. Yeah, but I sold it at 10 a.m. in the morning. I put a listing at 10 a.m. The guy came at my house at 12:30. So
then sold.
Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast. It's a bit of a longer one because I think we're all really interested in this and we like shopping also anyway. So if you guys like shopping, tell us what are some of your best purchases or worst purchases on the second-hand realm, because we love to hear it. If you have any cool things that you found on second market, share with us. We'll tag us and we'll share it with the rest of the community as well. This week's song is a song called It Takes Two by Fiji Blue, and it sounds a little bit like this. It's a bop. It's beautiful and something that's, you can just listen to it morning or night, start your day, end your night. And if you guys want to get caught up with all the latest episodes of the Takeaway Table Podcast, Table Talk, we are available on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. See our cute faces on YouTube. You don't want to miss it, man. And I think that's about it. If you guys want to get caught in with all our funny things that we do with the community, join us on discord.gg/takeawaytable. That's discord.gg/takeawaytable. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining me. And for everyone, thank you for joining us on this interesting podcast, which I feel we should probably come back to in the near future. Maybe we'll invite like someone from Carousel or something to give us some interesting stats about who buys what. Carousel, hit us up. Sponsor an episode.
Facebook also
or Facebook Marketplace. I love Facebook Marketplace. Thanks so much for listening, guys. We hope you guys have a great week ahead. Be safe, be cute, and just wash those bums, man. Ciao.
Happy New Year.
Bye.